Most no-fappers think that when you quit PMO, you're going to be living a half-life, right? A life without your crutch, a life without something that's going to take the pain away in times of need. The objective with the freedom model approach, with the approach that I'm suggesting, is that you can be genuinely happier without PMO in your life. Think about before when you PMO'd, when you started all of this, when you got caught in this awful journey, right? When you were a kid and you didn't PMO. Life was great. There are people in this world who don't PMO. Men and most women, a lot of old people, a lot of people who are younger. They're having a great time. They don't feel as though their life without PMO is suffering in any type of way. Here's the thing though. You think, or at least you may have thought, or you can understand that people may think, that when you PMO, when you start the PMO journey, you've opened Pandora's box and you can't go back to like what life was like before. That isn't true. It isn't true. You think that now that you've formed these chemical pathways in your mind, it's as if you are trapped in here. There's no way for you to kind of go back into normal reality and believe that life is great again. Now that you've experienced the immeasurable PMO pleasures that hijack your neural circuitry and your evolutionary pathways, you think that's it. You've achieved, you've seen the most pleasurable things that life has to offer, and everything else by comparison won't be as nice. Not true. You might have caught yourself wishing, I wish I never found PMO. I wish as a kid I didn't take that first session and then I'd have a great life. You can have that great life because the thing that is making you believe that PMO is the greatest thing ever, the thing that separates your life now from your life before when you were a child or when you were well, older guys or women have, they don't think about PMO. They don't feel as though their life is without it. The thing that produced that isn't the doing of PMO, right? It isn't the doing of PMO. Some people believe that their life will be a half-life without cigarettes in it. They think they won't be able to deal with stress without cigarettes. You deal with life without cigarettes just fine. You might have smoked cigarettes before at a night out or a party or whatever. I certainly have. Or alcohol. I've drunk a fuckload of alcohol in my life. When I feel stressed, I don't open the fridge over there and pop open one of those bad boys. I don't do it. I don't even feel the need to. I don't even have the thought to do it. The point being is that the product hasn't caused this feeling of PMO being the only thing, life without PMO being the half-life. It's your beliefs. And I keep going back to this, and I will do it again and again and again because it needs to be drummed home. If you believe that life without PMO, if you believe in the extreme value of PMO, right, you believe PMO is this incredibly pleasurable thing, and that life without PMO is going to be a half-life, then when you quit PMO, right, you will feel deprived. You will feel as though you've entered a half-life. You will feel that way because you believe it. It's your beliefs. The way you debunk your beliefs is by using reason and logic. Think about what PMO is actually doing for you. MO, masturbation, is just you stroking your dick and there being a sensation there. You viewing it as overly pleasurable. Think about it. Masturbation is like a physical thing coupled with an emotional thing. There's this emotional feeling of pleasure, and then there's a physical stimulus. What's happening is you have the physical stimulus, and then you imbue it, you impregnate it, you attach beliefs onto that physical sensation, such that when you feel that physical sensation, you now feel as though you're going into this world of fantasy and imaginary clouds and marshmallows and whatnot, right? Pleasure. Here's the thing, right? You can feel emotional pleasure with a fuckload of things. Productivity. The act of working, right? Imagine someone gets immense pleasure from sending emails and doing work, admin work. People do get immense pleasure from that because it's what they believe is happening. It's not the act of clicking buttons on a screen that's producing pleasure within them. It's their beliefs that this is something that's really important to me and I'm doing it and I feel good about myself doing it. When you have a really productive day, it's not the chemical action of the productive day that's forcing you to feel good. You believe something, you believe in the significance of the actions that you're taking, and its completion or its progress is what's making you feel good, right? You can feel this fantasy about almost anything. People with anorexia force themselves to vomit, and that makes them feel good. Not because vomiting feels good, but because they believe that they're losing weight and they're keeping control of themselves, right? Vomiting feels awful. Same is true with MO. You might think MO is, or masturbation is like objectively pleasurable. You might think the same thing is true about porn. Not true. Porn is just content. Masturbation is just a physical stimulus. That's it. That's what it causes for everyone. Guess what isn't caused for everyone? Extremely high levels of pleasure, stress relief. Doesn't happen for everyone. It's subjective. It's subject to your own beliefs, and you can change those. The point of this vid is that when you do that and you change those beliefs, and then you run an abstinence experiment where you feel, okay, I'm informed now. I know what MO does for me. I know what PMO does for me. I'm going to try and go a week without PMO. I'm going to try and go 2 weeks without PMO. Not to see if I can do it, not doing nofap, but to see if I can be genuinely happier. That's the key. Seeing if you can be genuinely happier without PMO in your life. Like when you were a kid. Like people who don't watch PMO, right? That's what we're aiming for. We're not aiming for a life of deprivation, which is what nofap advocates. No, we're looking to be happier. And that should be the mindset from the get-go. It shouldn't be, see if I can survive. What are you going to do? Survive your whole life? Fuck that. You can change your mind completely. It's an inside job. Internally change it.